What about sex did you not know about until it happened? For it was that girls need you to be real gentle at the beginning or they can hurt a lot. Watching porn, I always imagined my wiener to just slide right in, making her feel orgasmic and asking for more. Sex spawned leg cramps. They are the devil incarnate. I swear to God. One minute you're pumping away on top of a nice lady. The next moment you're suddenly whiting out in pain, rolling around on the other side of the bed nearly in tears as the muscles in your leg you harder than you ever thought possible. Cramp bullshit. You have to hydrate. Before, during, and after. Lubricating doesn't stop at the genitals. Remember to keep those muscle fibers hydrated so they can help you deliver the pounding she deserves. The orgasms I have from sex are way better than the ones I have from jerking off. Also, you slip out. That might be the worst part of sex. So frustrating. I didn't realize how hot two naked bodies lying next to each other could get. I always assumed I'd get naked with my sew and press my body against hers for hours on end. Never did I imagine that would lead to me breaking a sweat after 10 to 20 minutes, thus forcing me to retreat back to my side of the bed. You cannot order a boner like a pizza. And you won't get a random, sudden pizza. It happened when I was a teen. My girlfriend told me that she wants to wake up with oral sex. So I wake up a little early and start poking her face with my dick. Later I found out that girls can get oral as well. Unreal. That penises can grow significantly when a guy gets hard. I assumed for the longest time that most well-hung gentlemen had all that hanging in their pants at all times. It wasn't until I saw my boyfriend's flaccid penis for the first time that I knew something was up. Big difference. The fart noises. Sweaty chests pressing against each other make fart noises. The wrong angle inside her and an air pocket forms, which then makes a fart noise when it gets pushed out. Sometimes, it's just regular old farts. That's where the ability to laugh with your partner and enjoy the hilarity of the moment comes in very handy. Loud girlfriend plus fart noises equals awkward breakfasts at my parents' house. Well, having sex on the table does tend to make it awkward for others having breakfast there. Fart noises or not. That once you get inside, it's really wet. I thought doggy style or related positions meant it was going in your butt. Well, it can. Duh. You all live in a golden age of free, easily accessible porn. The world I grew up in didn't even have Cinemax softcore porn. I'd seen pictures. I knew all of the good bits and bobs. What I didn't know was how to properly work those bits. I didn't know it was supposed to go in and out again and again. So after many failed attempts, I finally found a girl willing to touch my penis, and we snuck off to the bathroom. Neither one of us knew what the hell we were doing. After a few cursory minutes of clumsy foreplay, she climbed on top and slipped it in. When she went up, I went with her, and held onto her hips for dear life. I kept that little buried in her as deep as I could. Try as she might, she was not getting that dick out. She zigged. She zagged. I zigged and zagged right with her. I may as well have superglued my dick into her vagina. It was a little awkward. So much of my own enjoyment actually depends on the girl being turned on as well. Penis skin moves. I thought a hand job involved rubbing the penis like you would to your finger. But the skin moves too. The first time I gave a hand job I thought you just had to mush it around in your hand. Like a stress ball almost. This kills the penis. First, a quick whack to stun the penis. Whack. That after rough anal sex and the guy finishes inside you, you should very soon try to poop on the toilet. Otherwise you're laying there in bed and think you're going to fart when what actually happens is you unleash a hellish slurry of lube, cum, and shit and ruin the bedsheets and probably cause the hotel maid to question their job. Anal sex needs to be done right or things can go grossly wrong. I always assumed it was the woman's job to guide my penis in her vagina. I hovered over her and waited, and she just looked at me like, what? And I asked if she could put it in, and she was all, you're a big boy, you can do this. My wife usually guides me. If not, it's a 50-50 chance on going in the right hole. Stereotypical. But my first time was at a high school formal dance. Lifted the dress, unzipped my fly, got lady juice all over the crotch of my black suit pants. I had no idea that girls splooshed. I freaked out and thought my condom broke. She thought it was funny and told me that it was normal for girls to do this and the fact that I had such a mess on my pants meant that I was doing a good job. Sounds like you panicked ____ at the disco. Weird noises. Movies make sex seem so sensual, and it really is. But man, there are some weird-ass noises during sex. I call it stirring mac and cheese. My friend Dale calls it two dogs eating oatmeal. Semen isn't sticky. I always assumed it was going to be like tacky glue or maple syrup. No. Just insanely slimy. And even worse when you go to shower it off. Jizz and water is a hellish combination. Satan's silly string. It's very messy sometimes. Maybe you're using too many condiments. I remember the first time I had sex, my boyfriend at the time said I was really tight, and after a few pumps, my vagina farted. I was mortified. He looked at me and said, "Was that an orgasm?" I couldn't stop laughing. I remember my first girlfriend telling me that she can't get off if she is on top. I thought she meant she would get physically stuck there. Best post. That is a male. Indirect angles are not your friend. Some of the sperm comes back out of the vagina. I like to call this the prison break. Vagina are not prisons. They are penitentiaries. First serious girlfriend. After a month or two, I finally tried the accidental boob graze, which led to full groping. Alright, this is actually happening. So a week or two later, I go for the drawstring on her pants. Denied. But she rests my hand on the outside of her pants. On the crotch. Hey, I'll take it. Except I don't know what it is that I'm taking. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I just wanted to see how far I could go. So after a minute or two of my hand just chilling there, she takes my hand and starts running it over the outside of her pants. Oh, I'm supposed to rub it. Okay, got it. After a few minutes of that, she undoes the drawstring of her pants, letting my hand in. I reach in, under the underwear, and keeping doing that rubbing motion she showed me. Oh yeah. Do you feel that, baby? I'm totally doing the finger sex with you. Then she reaches down and moves my hand over to her actual vagina. I'd been stroking the fold between her leg and her pubic bone. Sometimes girls shake when they climax. Really scary for an inexperienced kid eating his girlfriend out. When she puts her head back and starts to have full body shakes for a few seconds, I was pretty confident that I was about to witness an assortment of demons leave her vagina. I knew that condoms could slip off. I did not know that they could slip off and disappear into my vagina. That when doing doggy, the guy is looking at my butthole as well. Knowing that now, I am conscious of poo and hair. We're also thinking about putting our thumb in there too. Thinking, if we're doing doggy, I'm already knuckle deep in there. Knuckle deep. PSSH amateur. I'm giving myself a handjob in there. They call that the Seattle Southpaw. That girls can get really wet to the point where it looks like dude cum. First time I had sex was in the dark, so I couldn't see much. Second time I bent my ex over and stuck it in. Took it out and my penis looked like it was dipped in glue and started freaking out because I didn't know if I came or not. That the G-spot feels differently than the rest of the vagina. First time using my hand I was exploring, seeing what she liked, and all of a sudden I find this spot that feels different than the surrounding areas. And she went crazy. So I stayed there. How messy it is and how awesome baby wipes are. It's way less of a big deal than you realized. Then when you get better at it, it's way more fun than you realized. Semen was so confusing the first time I touched it. I thought it was going to be sticky. It's sticky and slippery. It's the miracle fluid. Source. Morning Rubdown. Billy Mays here, and have I got an offer for you. It is really hot inside. You can cook a hot dog in a vagina, I swear. That vaginas have a finish line. This both concerned me and blew my mind the first time I had sex. For a second I thought my dick was unreasonably large. And then reality came back to me. I realized later that it hurt her to hit the cervix. And then I realized that sex is much more nuanced than it appears to be in porn. Extended pleasure condoms wouldn't sell if they called them by their proper name of dick-numbing condoms. I did not know that men-female here don't always want it as often as I do. I've had a couple sexual partners and some guy friends who all have told me that I or their girlfriend want more sex than they do. I'm not sure if me and these few other girls are just weird, or if this is some kind of social norm that men and women aren't willing to admit to or talk about. I have a great sex life, but it seems like I always want it more often than they do. Does anyone else get this? Yes. At first I thought I was just a weirdo. But then I remember that it's been ingrained in me that all men want sex at all times. I have to remind myself that this is bullshit and sometimes people want it or don't. How incredible it feels to cum in another person. Holding off from finishing during sex is a lot harder than holding it when you have to pee. I try and do a slow down for a second and I can stop myself, but as soon as she starts moving again it's right there waiting and I know I'm In the morning I can only last about 5 to 10 quick pumps. Shower sex is really hard. Holding her up against the wall was one of the riskiest things I've ever done. The vagina is lower than I expected. That it was a lot of work sometimes. I mean, am I the only one surprised at how good a workout really good sex feels like? Babe, get on top. My arms are getting tired.